Once again, welcome to class. Let me explain the section B question of circular flow of income. You have to write the introduction like this. Circular flow of income refers to the continuous circular flow of money income and the flow of goods among the major sector of the economy. See, in the sentence itself, they have given two key words. One is called money income, the other one is flow of goods. These two are exchanged with each other. The flow of money is the aggregate value of goods and services, either as factor payments or as expenditure on goods and services. I hope you understand the sentence. It's a very clear statement. There is an exchange of money income and flow of goods, and this particular flow of money, it's an aggregate. It may be a factor payment or it may be an expenditure from the household. It is a circular in nature. There are two reasons they have given. Why? Because one, it moves in a circle of coming back to the starting point. That is why it is called circular flow. Or we may say the other reason, it is a circular because it has neither any beginning nor an end. So because of these two reasons, we used to call it, this is a circular flow of income. How it has happened? Suppose in an economy, there are two sectors. We may say household sector and industrial sector. The household sector supplies the factor services and spend their income on consumption. The firm either hire or purchase the factor services from the household and produce. The firm will hire or purchase the factor services from household, land labor capital organization, receive the payment in terms of money as a reward for rendering the productive services. The recipient of these incomes, that is from the household sector, in turn spend their income on purchase of goods and services from the which are produced by the producers to satisfy their wants. So the expenditure by the household implies the income going back in the form of goods and services produced by the producer, making a circular flow of income which will be completed. In short, income is the first generated by the production unit. Then it has been distributed among the household by rendering the productive service, and ultimately comes back to the production units by way of expenditure on the household. In this way, there is a circular flow of income by the that outer arrow represents these two. What are they? The product market, which the goods and services exchange for the money income. Then the second one is factor market, in which the factors of production will be exchanged for the remuneration. So the outer circle represents the factor movement, the inner circle represents the money movement. There are two basic principles that you should write. You can put it as a heading as a basic principle of the circular flow of money. The very first one is, in the exchange process, the seller, who is seller, the producer, receives the same amount which a buyer consumes spend. Whatever household spending, it reaches the producer. In the other way, the goods and services flow in one direction. What the money income will go in the opposite direction in order to acquire the flow of that particular goods and services will be purchased in terms of consumption. So that money will reach the producer. So these are the basic principle relying on the two sector model. If you see the diagram, the last diagram is only two sector model. I've just given the basic. This is the factor market. Factor market in the sense there are two circles. One is inner circle, another one is outer circle. Now I'm explaining the outer circle only. In the outer circle, you can see from the household sector, the factors are moving to the firm or producing sector. What are the factors? As you know, there are four factors: land, labor, capital, organization. In turn, the goods and services move from the industrial sector to household sector. This is the outer circle. What is the inner circle? Inner circle is also the same thing, but the money income exchanges. In terms of consumption, the household is spending money on particular goods and services which they require. For that, they are paying remuneration. The remuneration in the sense for labor, they are paying the wages. For land, they are paying the rent. And for the savings, converted investment, for that, they are paying the interest. And for profit, they are paying the dividend. So these are the rent, wage, and dividend. All these things move from producer to consumer. Then this is the most important thing in that two sector model. You have to give the explanation. First, you write the diagram, draw the diagram, and then mention about there are two loops, upper loop and lower loop, or inner circle or outer circle. Then explain these are the changes have happened. Similarly, we should list out three assumptions before drawing the diagram. The assumptions are the very first assumption that the household is not saving their income, nor the firm is not saving their profit. The entire thing will be spent on the economy. Suppose the saving has happened, then there will be some precautionary motive or speculative motive, all these things will be. So the very first assumption for two sector model should be the household will not save their income, nor the firm will not save their profit. Then the next best assumption is the second one. We assume that the government does not play any part in the national income. Otherwise, the government does receive the money from the people in terms of tax. Then it's very difficult to draw the two sector model because the two sector will become static. So the second assumption for two sector model is the non-intervention of government. We may say laissez-faire policy. The last assumption, the third assumption, the most important assumption, we assume that the economy neither import goods of services nor export anything. Suppose it has happened, then it will become the international trade may take place, the two sector model will be meaningless. So while writing the two sector model, these three assumptions is mandatory. What is the first assumption? The household sector or the industry sector does not save anything. Second one is non-intervention of government. Third one is absence of international trade. These three should be the assumption for two sector model. And then you should write what is the basic principle and then the definition and who are all the economic agents. After that only you should draw the diagram. Then finally explain that diagram. Then in conclusion, what you have to write, you should say why it is static. How this static sector model to become a dynamic, for that the intervention of government is mandatory. Why? Because that should be a third party to, in order to make the rules and regulation be a correct one. They may levy tax from the household sector as well as the industrial sector. In the three sector model, if you see the diagram, there will be three sectors. From household sector to industrial sector, the land, labor, capital organization is moving. From industrial sector to household sector, the rent, wage, interest and profit, that is dividend, is moving. In between that, the government is intervening. What the government is doing, the government is levying tax, direct taxes from the household sector, indirect taxes from the industrial sector. In return, they will give some infrastructure, public expenditure, and rules and regulation. All these things will, service payment will be there. So there will be the three corner. It is like a triangle. Instead of saying two sector, the intervention of government definitely will improve the economy in terms of number of developmental activities as well as which will result in the economic growth. This three sector model only give provision for the four sector model. There is a provision for including the fourth sector, that is the foreign sector. In order to promote the export and improving the import substitution, government sector is mandatory. That is why two sector model is called static model, and three sector, from the three sector we used to call it as a dynamic model. Please write the answer clearly. Two diagram is very much needed. Assumptions, basic principles, and explanation for the diagram. If you write all these 6 parts, definitely you can secure full marks. May God bless you, children. I am winding the class.